shoot, I said as you claim it. Instant Xbox, spin the block, his legs slide. Fast talker, no riddling, moonwalker, selling moon rock just to make dividends. You in traffic with family? That much making a portrait. Gun kick back, not grannies from porches. David on the scene, you know that it's scorching. What's a man with king? No response to the saying, advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game and shoot, but said as you claim.
You already know the time, told my boys to hold the line. We gon' shoot it out in seconds, leave you posted like a vine. Bow your head down to the king, leave your roses at the shrine. We stay ready for the war, just need the king to drop the sign. Say what you running from, what you running from. I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? Say what you running from, what you running from. I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? This what you wanted. This what you wanted, huh?
Peace and blessings, and welcome back to Xbox Frontline News with your boy, the King. Now, I told you dudes we was going to run it up on you bums. And speaking about running it up on you bums, check out the store. The merch store got it all. Hashtag no PlayStation 6 is up in there. We're going to run it up on these bums. I'm going to keep the Bruno Kongs like this whole generation. All that and more is inside the store. Go get that. And for members, you guys got deals. I got special perks for you guys when you log into the store. Go check it out. You guys got free shipping on all your stuff. Check it out. Go look in there. Go see what's up. I did a lot of stuff. Cool stuff in there. Go check that out. But back to the matter at hand. You guys, like I know, you know what's up. The Queen came out. What I told you. Told you we had conversations. Like, people could believe whatever they want to believe. People can have these little mythological thoughts in their head about how stuff goes. And that's good, man. God bless you, bro. God bless you. I applaud the person that does nothing with the same amount of hours that I got in the daytime. I cannot be absolutely mediocre. You know, I'm going to have to go do it to the fullest. If I want to go out and find out information, I'm going to go make myself available to get that information. I'm going to get up off my ass. I'm not going to sit in a room with 2 or 3 posters stuck to the wall with see-through tape, crappy. Like, I'm going to give y'all aesthetically pleasing. It costs to be the boss. You see that behind you? It costs to be the boss. All right? You just don't wake up just fly. That's corny. Listen. Regardless to what, just be you, right? So if your aesthetics for your channel is you want to put crappy posters in the back and you want to talk about people, good, knock yourself out. I want to go to the industry and I want to meet the people that intrigue me, people that I admire, people whose work I admire, and they know me. That's the incredible thing about this whole thing. You know, as a consumer, you can make that transformation to a person that is in the industry, making the moves necessary to gain the information that we always sought. I picked up a cartridge, I'll never forget it, opening it up, wanting to know the minds behind designing, engineering, and then looking at the game itself, wanting to know more about the developer and the coding. And then I found out it was more that went into that with art direction and directing and stuff. And it became more and more layered. And in learning more and more about the industry, I wanted to become more and more entrenched in it. Because it's one thing to be a point of purchase, and there's no disrespect to that. But it's the greatest thing to sit down and have a conversation with somebody that you truly respect and admire that had fundamentally changed your childhood. Like Peter Moore, like we had him on Iron Lord's podcast. And very recently, Alex Hutchinson, somebody that changed a lot of stuff. And then, listen, we're on an interview doing Warhammer, the last game. And I'm talking to a dev in the background while the interview is being conducted, and I gave, Hard Geek Shani some direction on recording. And I was just letting him do his thing, but I'm talking to the dev in the background. Come to find out, that dev made one of my favorite games in all the world, Bionic Commando, and he's a French developer. And he was like, "Yo, it was just like 5 or 6 of us in my aunt's living room downstairs in the basement and stuff like that," and it was a whole big thing. But it's the best finding these things out, right? So a lot of times, jealousy and hate can come into many different packages, but I don't hate anyone and I'm not jealous of anyone, because God is giving me the same 24 hours that you have in the same day. And I choose to be as great as I can possibly be. All right. So again, if you choose to be mediocre, God bless, but I think you can do better, and I expect better from you. Y'all guys know who I'm talking to, and I hope you do better. But Xbox got great news, boy, and I know it upsets you. We're going to get into these topics because the king got a lot to say.
With cloud gaming more of a viable option than ever before, do we need a next-generation console? Is SIE developing one?
It's a great question.
That's a great question. I've been wondering that myself.
We have been cloud gaming for over last 11 years. We deployed cloud gaming servers to support the PS3, PS4, and the PS5 generations, and then we are really proud about the quality we have been delivering. Cloud streaming to the PlayStation Plus Premium, and we have the cloud streaming beta on the PlayStation Portal.
One eternity later.
Also, business has evolved into a multifaceted platform, and we now have a large ecosystem of highly engaged players across both the PlayStation PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 4 generations. So naturally, therefore, there's a huge interest in our next generation console strategy. While we cannot share further details at this stage, the future of the platform is top of mind.
So let me get this straight. You just gonna duck the question. You just not gonna answer if there's gonna be a PlayStation 6. I mean, all you had to do was just say that there's gonna be a PlayStation 6 or not. You got King running around here talking about hashtag no PlayStation 6. He got merch in the stores. Like, could you please give something to the PlayStation fan base to let them know what's really going on?
I'm afraid, all right? You want to hear me say it? You want to break me down? All right, I'm afraid. For the first time in my life, I'm afraid.
That Microsoft is moving away from the console. If that's true, is that good or bad for PlayStation?
So we think that competition in the business is healthy and then pushes us to innovate.
This is bullshit! Stand ready for my arrival, worm.
At Xbox, our vision is for you to play the games you want with the people you want, anywhere you want. That's why we're investing in our next generation hardware lineup across console, handheld, PC, cloud, and accessories. I am thrilled to share we've established a strategic multi-year partnership with AMD to co-engineer silicon across a portfolio of devices, including our next generation Xbox consoles, in your living room and in your hands. Together with AMD, we are advancing the state of art in gaming silicon to deliver the next generation of graphics innovation to unlock a deeper level of visual quality and immersive gameplay and player experiences enhanced with the power of AI, all while maintaining compatibility with your existing library of Xbox games. This is all about building you a gaming platform that's always with you, so you can play the games you want across devices anywhere you want, delivering you an Xbox experience not locked to a single store or tied to one device. That's why we're working closely with the Windows team to ensure that Windows is the #1 platform for gaming. The next generation of Xbox is coming to life, and this is just the beginning. We can't wait to show you what's next.
It's over. We are screwed.
While Sony fails to answer the bell when answering questions regarding the next generation console, hashtag no PlayStation 6, you know how it is. We're going to run it up on these bums. I'm going to keep the boot on Kong's neck this whole generation. Xbox seems to be answering the call. With the Queen coming out and delivering a rousing speech proclaiming Xbox to be the de facto next-gen hardware going forward with cutting-edge graphics, innovation, and being able to be as versatile as it needs to be in the upcoming climate. It seems to be Xbox knows the direction, understands the assignment, and is ready and willing to make sure that you know they're in this fight for the long haul. When Sony is looking for Xbox to back out, Xbox pushes the line and exceeds all expectations. With multiple consoles, be it handheld PC or console devices that are actually under your television, Xbox and Microsoft plan to be everywhere every gamer is. Where it can compute, it's an Xbox. Be it TVs, Fire Sticks, mobiles, laptops, PCs, other consoles, Xbox and Microsoft is sure to be there. But one thing that we all asked, and we didn't know for sure, except for me, the king, because I'm 98% right all the time, and I told you, hold your brakes, pump them, wait a second. I spoke to the Queen face to face. We had good conversations. Now, I know you're going to say, King, that's cap. And I'm going to tell you, there were multiple people that can corroborate my story. Now, again, it was her and I talking, and nobody can actually get close enough to us to listen to our conversations because we were talking closely. But I can assure you that the next generation Xbox will definitely show up, and it will be the devices that you all are looking forward to. Now, I'm not a leaker, and I'm not some person that's trying to give you information first. I'll leave that to these guys. Me? I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. Boots on the ground, talking to the people that matter, and getting those informationals back to you guys, the people that matter to me. Told you. Hashtag no PlayStation 6. We're going to stuff them full of glizzies. Pause. We're going to run it up on these bums. It's definitely in effect as I keep the boot on Kong's neck this whole generation. As time ticks down, the more and more speculation of the release date of the Xbox ROG Ally X is coming to fruition. The same thing with the Xbox ROG Ally itself. Those are the two editions. Price point seems to be a contentious point for people. I'm going to tell you this. If you want to get the more advanced version, which is the black version, I would say put aside a G, put that rack to the side and just let that wait right there. I say 700 max for the white version, because it has lesser specs inside. Just to be on the safe side. These are premium devices. I know it's sometimes is a lot to ask for certain people, and certain people can't justify the price point. When you can't justify the price point, that's not a device for you, and that's quite all right, because at the end of the day, not every device is made for everyone. There are Steam Decks out there. There are other devices that are made for you. What I'm going to tell you is, like, I got a ROG, and I didn't upgrade to the ROG X. I had my regular ROG, and it serves me well. But me upgrading to this ROG, I'm going to go for the X version and forego the last iteration of it, because this is a advanced chipset, if you will, more horsepower for what I want to use it for. And then we have the software that's inside that I need it for, right? So again, this thing would come out in late October. From all intents and purposes, every source that has come forward talking about it, leaking the information, Jez from the Xbox 2 podcast, he talks about it. Remember, he's a writer on Windows Central. So again, I'm telling you, take it with a grain of salt, but from all intents and purposes, the sources that I've spoke to, late October seems to be the target. If you looked at Xbox's show, the majority of the games come out in October, so you will have a ton of games to play with your new device while you have a new direct introducing the device to the world and introducing new games and more games for the rest of the year and well into 2026. This device is coming, right? And a lot of people are trying to dismiss this device like it's not an official Xbox device. Xbox co-signed it, co-engineered it, puts the software on the device, and gives it its official seal of approval. I saw somebody on Twitter gave a poignant point. When you buy a third-party controller for Xbox that is an official controller endorsed by them, isn't that an Xbox controller? Some people will say no, some people will say yes, and that's where the line is drawn. So if you consider it an Xbox handheld console, then you consider it an Xbox handheld console. If you don't, then you won't, and that's where it lies at, okay? So to each his own, but me personally and the rest of the lords, yeah, we're getting it. I know you guys are happy that next-gen hardware is coming out, but I want you to pump the brakes for a second, right? With the Xbox ROG Ally X possibly being $1,000, right? $900,000 tax. Console needers, if you will, console wanters, console desirers, if you will, are terrified at the prospect of the next Xbox price point. I myself look at it as Microsoft is going to be the first ones out the door. The price point is going to be key in the next generation. Or will it be? Is the fact that Microsoft, with its multi-pronged strategy attack, if you will, multi-device attack, if you will, and the fact that it's a multi-platform publisher, gives it a certain level of cachet where the device they can make is absolutely the best device that's going to be on the market. And being that they will always be in Publisher of the Year conversations, pumping out as much content as possible, they can possibly put out the most powerful handheld, most powerful console, most powerful devices, and force the industry to follow suit in the sense that they have to develop for the most powerful SKU and scale down to the lesser powerful hardwares that will be introduced. With the PlayStation handheld rumored to be a weaker spec handheld, by all intents and purposes, far weaker than the Xbox ROG Ally X, I think there's a huge possibility that the next PlayStation, and I'm not calling it a PlayStation 6, might be just a PlayStation 5 Pro. I want to know what y'all think about this. Please leave a comment. If I'm wrong, then who cares? But if I'm right, you do.
Look at this. Look at this. It's perfect.
I think anyone could have saw this coming. Even if you're visually impaired, you damn sure could have saw this happening and this taking place. Mama, I'm legally blind. I'm telling you now, this is the update from Bungie themselves, from the dev team over at Marathon. Thank you for not only your passionate feedback around Marathon. Nobody had passionate feedback about that. If it was passionate, it was in the opposite direction. And the alpha playtest. But also your patience while we took the time to listen closely and chart our next steps, like removing that stuff that you stole allegedly. Paying somebody for the hard work that they put in instead of going in there and looting and polluting like you do. Though every comment and real-time conversation in social media and Discord, your voice has been strong and clear. Yeah, pay that money you owe, B. You've been running it up on these bumps. We've taken this to heart, and we know each and every time we go to Craft Marathon into the game that truly reflects our passions. Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't reflect other people's passions as well. But after much discussion with our dev teams, we made a decision to delay the September 23rd release. After talking to Sony, Sony said, you got one mess up and we're going to defunct the whole squad. The alpha test created an opportunity for us to calibrate and focus the game on what will make it uniquely compelling, survival under pressure, mysterious and lore around every corner, raid-like end-game challenges, and Bungie's genre-defining first-person combat. Yeah, we gonna put some stuff together because what we had wasn't good. We're using the time to empower the team to create intense, high-stakes experiences that a title like Marathon is built around. We're encouraging the team not to steal from others, allegedly. Marathon is built around this means depending on deepening the relationship between developers and the game's most important voices, our players. Pay that man. Over the next few months, we'll continue to close testing, including participants from Alpha. They ain't letting you see this. This thing is going under deep cover to deploy gameplay updates and test new features as they come online. Some of our immediate focus will be upping the game's survival. More challenging, engaging AI encounters. More rewarding runs with new types of loot and dynamic events. Making combat more intense and strategic. Our loot was whack and our game was weak. Doubling down on the Marathon universe. What the hell does that mean? Increased visual fidelity. Dudes hated what it looked like. Like me. More narrative and environmental storytelling to discover and interact with. Because that pantomime crap was trash. A darker tone that delivers on the themes of our original trilogy. On God and them. We got to get this thing just like Destiny. Because dudes hate this candy-colored game. Adding more social experiences. I ain't talking to a damn soul out here. Better player experiences for solos and duos. They didn't have that. Proximity chat, so social stories can come to life. I want more people to engage and be as horrible to be as possible because this game needs something. You'll hear from us later this fall. We can share progress we made. Sayonara, sucker. See you in 2 years. Alongside the game's new release date. Thank you again for your patience and, much importantly, your passion. Ain't nobody care. Ain't nobody asked for this. Ain't nobody checking for you. Y'all didn't even have a price point. Sony going down in flames, son. And Bungie did it.
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
As Xbox Next Gaming Handheld is taking the center stage and beating Sony to the punch. See, strategically, when you have the bread to make moves the way that Xbox can make moves with Microsoft's dough, you could be first to the punch before they can even react. In and out is what Xbox is talking about. Pause. Watch yourself here. You guys are wild crazy. PlayStation 6 rumored handheld is getting more tangible by the day. It's not PlayStation 6. It's a PlayStation handheld. It's going to take the place of the 6. The 6 ain't going to make it messing with these dudes. I think it's going to be highly successful. Listen, Kepler 2 told you it's going to be an AMD device. AMD is eating right now. I'm going to be honest with you. All these devices are powered by AMD from the smallest to the largest. And I think NVIDIA themselves find themselves on the outs, to be honest with you, because they only dealing with Nintendo. Now, Nintendo is highly successful, and those are older chipsets that are working inside the Nintendo Switch too. But you can see that these guys are using the latest tech inside these handhelds, this hardware, all these devices. So again, it's going to be a smaller powered device. We talked about this already. It's going to be a device that I believe that is going to be a lower powered PlayStation 5 that actually can play at 720 or 1080p resolution. Remember, when you have on a handheld, you don't have to reach the high maximum grandioso resolutions that is necessary for console-based games. This handheld will be dockable. In my opinion, I understand that they're going to look at all the pitfalls and all the gains from the other two, and they're going to maximize as much as possible their ecosystem while also defining their brand going forward. I look forward to whatever this device inevitably turns out to be, but I also know that this device is going to be highly successful because I believe in what that brand power does and how it will galvanize their populace, because at this period of time, you got to understand, Xbox will have unofficial quote unquote unofficial handheld out there with an official handheld dropping. I see this device dropping in 2027, and that device probably dropping sometime around March, April, as late as May. And with the hardware going the way of the dinosaur, probably in 2029, because the way the industry is going to change, Xbox is going to fundamentally change the industry. So look forward to the PlayStation 5 Pro being your last console and you enjoying that. Love that console, but you will definitely have a handheld that can dock, and they are looking forward to the time that you're using with this device. This device is going to be the key device in the survival of PlayStation going forward. You wanted an interface, you wanted a storefront, you're going to have a storefront, you're going to have an interface, and you're going to have a device. So there's no need to cry. Just try. I was going to say to play the Game Pass, but y'all can't.
This right here is what you want to be doing. This right here. What you're doing now is just a waste of your time. But this is what you want to be doing.
With the PlayStation fan base clamoring for a PlayStation 6, you have to truly ask yourself, what happened to PlayStation this generation? With companies like Forbes questioning the validity of what the PlayStation 5 brought to this generation, one needs to ask, seriously, what did the PlayStation 5 offer new besides remakes and remasters for the past gen? Cross-gen titles abound. The PlayStation 5 seemed to be held back by the PlayStation 4. And when it did unshackle itself from the previous generations, it got met with mixed and undesirable sales numbers. With games like Final Fantasy Rebirth not reaching the same heights as Remake, one stands to look and see that this generation has been a miss for the PlayStation generation. Now, a lot of the contingents will tell you that PlayStation really didn't bring the thunder this generation. And with the meeting they just had for the shareholders, that CNN infomercial thing, if you will, scripted, teleprompted thing, if you will, not going over well with fans, with them telling you that they're looking towards greater and different ways to engage with the populace with next generation hardware. Not necessarily meaning a PlayStation 6, but an iteration of a piece of tech that can actually bring their vision to fruition. we see maybe these guys might put out one AAA title a year as they scale back operations and expectations of the fan base to further entrench themselves as a casual machine, not made for the hardcore, but made only solely to entertain those individuals that might buy 1 or 2 games a year, if that. Sony seems to be exiting the competition. Now, me, myself, I saw a lot of AA games that I look forward to. But with a lot of their mainstay titles not actually being PlayStation-made titles, one has to question the direction over at Sony. Are the right people in charge, or are all this just for nothing? I hope they get it together, because we know Xbox, and Xbox and Microsoft is going to run it up on you bums. Hashtag no PlayStation 6. You know what it is. It's a scary sight to see you guys cry. But hey, buy you some gears and we can play some games. If PlayStation won't treat you right, Xbox got your back.
Get nothing! You lose! Good day, sir!
I reported on this over a week ago, but I'm going to reiterate it again, just for the simple fact that it's like confirmed and concrete. Gears of War 5, Reloaded will not be making it to the PlayStation 5 in Japan. The Lords will be in Japan, but Gears of War won't for PlayStation 5. But I'll be playing it on my Steam Deck while I'm on a flight going out there, and I'm going to bring a little bit of Gears to Japan, because PlayStation doesn't want it. Apparently, they can show everything else, but they don't want to show Gears of War in Japan for the PlayStation fans. Sucks. I do apologize, but we do have Series X's and X's and S's that you can play, and you can play that game, and you can just go in Game Pass and you can have that game for free. So go knock that stuff out, man. Or go get a Steam Deck, and you shouldn't be penalized by the choices that you made based off of their stringent guidelines in which they don't want you to have fun. But we want you to have fun. So come over here to Death Row and let's leave those suckers behind. Now, with seeing the direction that Xbox is going in, and they got like Fire Sticks, they're opening up Windows 11 to the point where now they're actually fundamentally basing games based in Windows 11 and bringing that stuff over. They got hardware that's coming from third-party manufacturers that has the Xbox seal of approval. So then the floodgates is open. Them talking with AMD, we kind of knew this already, but them explaining that a multi-year pathway shows you their commitment to hardware. Now, from all that I understood, the SoC, that is a system on chip, is going to be based around console sensibilities. So what is that? Is that the handheld? Is that the console? But the console is going to have an open storefront, because from all the verbiage, the storefront itself is going to have multiple storefronts that you're able to engage with. Wherever you buy games, Xbox and Microsoft wants you to take those games and push those games further than they've ever done before. With the ability to jump on your LG television, your Samsung television, and play your games from there, or to go on NVIDIA Now or NVIDIA Go and play your games streaming through the cloud. There are different things that actually changes the thought process. Now, Microsoft did have some fundamental problems with going forward with OpenAI. Let's put that here, and then let's talk about that right after.
OpenAI's close relationship with Microsoft could turn sour. The Wall Street Journal says the ChatGPT maker has considered accusing the tech titan of anti-competitive behaviour. It says the move could involve seeking a federal review of the ties between the two and a public campaign over the matter. OpenAI needs Microsoft's blessing to complete its transition to a public benefit corporation, but months of talks between the pair have failed to produce agreement. Among the sticking points is said to be the future stake that Microsoft would hold. Tech publication The Information says OpenAI wants the Windows maker to get a 33% share in a restructured unit, in exchange for foregoing rights to future profits. It reportedly also wants to modify clauses that give Microsoft exclusive rights to host OpenAI models in its cloud. The Information says neither issue has yet been settled. Microsoft invested an initial $1 billion in OpenAI back in 2019, but the chatbot maker has since been looking for ways to reduce its reliance on the tech heavyweight. Earlier this month, Reuters reported that Sam Altman's firm plans to start using cloud services from Alphabet to boost its computing power.
Now, it was always cool to take money in the beginning, and $1 billion from Microsoft to give investor money to OpenAI was an eye-opener to have a shadow seat on the board. And then after that, the way the language was talked about in which the contracts was written when it came to OpenAI behind closed doors, because remember, they're not a publicly traded company, but they're trying to go public now. And Xbox, we gave you $1 billion. Microsoft gave you $1 billion, and they do have certain assurances, and they're kind of at a stalemate right now. Now, this is affecting Microsoft stock. Microsoft stock has dropped, I think it was 6.7%. And that's effective. All right. Let me tell you something right now, because I was like at 512 and I was at 470 something. And it's dropping even further, probably, based off of this conversation here. The juxt of it is Microsoft wants to use ChatGPT exclusively in their cloud streaming and their cloud environment in order to give it a larger, robust nature. Now, the reason why this is a contentious spot is because, cloud is centric in everything that Xbox is doing going forward. But at the same time, if this thing goes AGI, they want to be on the forefront of AI. They have multiple hands and multiple AIs all over the place. And with their quantum chip, that quantum chip paired with AGI, that will transcend exactly where Microsoft will go with their tech. I think this is something you keep your eyes on, because this tech is also the tech that is pushing the cloud infrastructure further down the road. Now that we got that little segment out of the way, I just wanted to do a little bit of business, and I just wanted to talk about where Microsoft as a company is going and where you can see the strategy going, right? So the strategy itself is multi-layered, multifaceted hardware pointed in many different directions that gamers can actually have access to. And then you have multi-directional software that is pointed in every direction gamers are at. Then you have the next and final layer, which is the AI and cloud streaming initiative, multi-layered, multifaceted, directed at gamers all over the place. So you will have the streaming in the television, video games, and PCs. You will have the AI in television, video games, and PCs all across the boards. Everywhere that you can compute, everywhere that you have a screen, Xbox and Microsoft wants to be. PlayStation wants to be in those places that you can compute too, but this is really not about them. This is really about us. Now, Mr. Me Too is going to try some stuff, and I honestly believe that they're going to give a valiant effort. But if there's any indication of what is to transpire, this generation has been a real abysmal one for the PlayStation 5 fan base. When all you can talk about is sales, and those sales are not indicative of what you have to play. Fun. There is no fun if you're talking numbers. And if all you got to do is talk numbers, well then listen, buddy, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to go play Crash Bandicoot 4 because it dropped inside Game Pass today. And I'm going to take that logo. But before I go, I'm going to tell you like, follow, and subscribe. Hit that notification key. Because me, King, I'm that dude. 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I do my thing. And I'm your new best friend. I'm about to stream right after this because, man, I got games to play. Unlike a lot of other people, I got things to do. 24 hours in a day, I got to do it the King's way. Trying to be better than yesterday, and tomorrow I will be greater than. So I'm going to take this logo, and I'm going to throw it around Crash Bandicoot 4. I think it's Lost in Time, something like that. But I'm going to get a chance to figure it out. And I'm going to tell you, like I always tell you, you got to do it where the best do it. You got to game where the winners game. And I'm going to tell you, try to play the Game Pass. Oh, Bella.